Welcome to Mexico Profit Blueprint, Smart Investment in Land and Multifamily. I'm Daniele Sica, and I'm thrilled to have you join us in our exciting journey. In this podcast series, we will delve deep into the world of real estate investment into breathtaking Riviera Maya. Wherever you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, our goal is to provide you with valuable insights, strategy, and knowledge to make informed investment decisions. Today's episode, we are going to explore how our perception, time management skills, and understanding of multidimensional thinking can profoundly influence our investment choice and lead us towards a prosperous future. We also touch on how the geopolitical landscape, including the upcoming US election, might affect investment strategy and opportunity. So let's dive in right now. We know that no matter what, if you invest anywhere in the world, you should have this type of understanding, the perception. The perception is very, very important. And from what I've been seeing so far in many podcasts as well, I don't see this fundamental base where they can teach you and they go a little bit more deep down in the foundation, the real foundation. It's not just coaching, that kind of stuff, but I do believe that you have to combine these two things together. So the perception, it's fundamental for me, and that's what I'm sharing with you. I'm happy to know what you think about. The perception shape, it's how you see the world from my point of view and the opportunity within it, right? Our individual perception usually are built upon our experience, our beliefs, from when we grow up until now. All the information that we consume, that goes through inside our eyes, right? And when it comes to investing, I believe the perception plays a crucial role and can either open your eyes to possibility or blinds us to potential opportunity. We can keep thinking, oh, we can have these things that we can do it, but we don't make the action, which is another step. Imagine two investors, for example, they look at the same piece in the land in the Riviera Maya. One see a plot of sand and palm tree, and the other envision a thriving resort destination, right? Two opposite things. The difference lies in the perception, right? So, and to succeed in real estate investment, probably if you already done that before, you must agree that you must cultivate a perception that allow us to see potential where others may not see, right? So that's the key. Broadening our perception involves education ourselves. So we go back now in some other crucial step point that we need to know. And we need to learn also from the other, right? Stay informed about marketing trend, politics, and be open and always be open with the new idea. I always say it's, unzip yourself and be able to receive new information. But doing so, I believe that, we can identify opportunity that align with our goal and inspiration. Obviously, to do that, it's like I always, my background is Italian, if somebody knows about me. And for me, for example, cooking, it's very important. But in order to become a good chef, you have to master, right, the recipe. You have to master the foundation, how to assemble things together. And so time is an asset. And that once spent, it can never be regained. Time is our enemy, basically. And successful investors understand this fundamental truth and have mastered the art of time management. They know how to prioritize tasks, allocate sources, and also make the most for every moment. Things that I had to learn, and I'm still learning. And I remember when I left my country and I went in the States, had this meeting with an attorney that we had 1 hour. And at the end of the hour, we didn't finish our meeting. And then at the clock, it says, okay, we have to set up another time. He says, but we didn't finish. They say, you have to reschedule. I said, wow. Obviously, because I was not used to this type of mentality, these things that, back in Italy, it's okay if it's an hour, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? So I had to learn these things. but time management is not just about squeezing more tasks into our day. That's the other thing that I had to learn after. It's about making conscious choice about how we spend our time, right? So we have to assemble, mastering the time that we spend, identify, I believe, what truly matter and align our action with our long-term goals, right? And so if we think, and if we think time as a resource, I think, we can stretch and shape to your advantage or to our advantage, right? Instead of rushing and make a decision, says, oh my gosh, I got to do these things faster. We should take a time to research, right? The famous due diligence, analyze, evaluate options. And by doing so, we increase the chance of making well-informed decision that leads to successful investment. Once we analyze that specifically in the real estate, right? We know that the time can be everything, and knowing that, from experience, when you buy something, when you hold or sell, it's required a keen understanding of market cycle and trend, right? Mastering time management. That's one thing that I learned from school university in Toronto, Canada, from private management, where you have to understand not just to master the time, but also you have to be a competitive edge, right? It's allowed to seize opportunity for when you have to deliver it, whatever is your objective, your goal. And so when you size the opportunity, that's when, everything arises around you, because you understand how to manage it. You understand how to make the best in that type of manner. Now, the other thing that, I also have studied for many years, it's about it's a multi-dimensional space, right? I'm firmly believe in energy thoughts. And so the multi-dimension for me involve understanding choice that make you in one area of our life. It can have also a ripple effect across various dimensions. Obviously, it's about recognition, right? Understanding this type of theory, and probably many of you, this is, you are a lunatics. It's very complex, right? Especially when we talk about universe, right? It's, you can get lost. And so every each decision open up a new pathway. I believe I remember in 2011 when I bought a land in Aldea Zama, it was basically nothing, right? But I had the vision how things gonna go happen. In that context, for example, the real estate investing, right? The multidimensional thinking means looking behind immediate and obviously things. It means consider a factor, location, right? Market trend, geopolitical influence. That right now it's very crucial. We need to learn all these things. We need to know, and understanding also with transparency where the information is coming from, because also we have the famous fake news, right? And even that have to be allocated with the personal goals and value. I think by adopting a multidimensional perspective, this is also my firm belief that we can make investment decisions that align with a broader vision for life and prosperity. If we understand in the right time, the right moment, with a little bit of lucky, that's always part of our recipe. I firmly believe that we are in the game, but without making decision, without understanding all these things, without have a vision, right, of what we really want to do, it's a little bit tough, right? I give an example. So when considering investment in Riviera Mare, for example, you must look behind just the picturesque beaches and turquoise water, right? Everybody say the same thing over and over and over. But we need to examine the region economy, growth, infrastructure development, the potential of the tourists, right? You need to know this number, the famous due diligence. And we must also consider how our investment align with our personal aspiration and long-term goal, because some people, they say, oh, I like this, but I don't like that. I like Tulum, but I'm not sure. Maybe Playa del Carmen is better for me. So you need to know these things. So to do that, you have to understand how to make a decision, right? Decision making. And the things I have learned in my last 5 years, the investor has good mind decision. Once I think that once we have a clear understanding of our multidimensional space, we gain the power to make a decision, and then we align with our value desire. You see, it's like a recipe at the end of the day. You combine all these things together. And once you are together, then you have the famous plate, right? So you become the architect, so you become your master chef, right? For your own future, capable to create a life that you really envision. That's what I've been done also for the last couple of years, because it was not easy, right? You know, we going up and down in our life. Imagine having freedom, you know, when you choose whatever you want in life, whatever you want to spend your time, your money, what kind of life you wish to lead to, right? This is the ultimate goal of strategy of investing. And you have to create a life that reflect the value, the inspiration, a dream, right? For people out there, they have kids, you know, wife, husband, family. Most of the time, you know, when I'm talking about with investor, why says, why you want to invest? Is I want to help my mom, right? That's the most of the time they come up in the questioning, right? So I want to help my mom. So I want to help my mom too. So and I'm sure you want to do too. And so when we make this decision, I think it's clear that we have to have this sense of responsibility, the purpose, and also the direction. That's have to be very clear. And also, you know, we are more likely to achieve the outcome only if we desire. If I believe that I want to do that, when I wake up in the morning, that's the things I have to create in my mind, right? I have to become proactive in shaping, I think, what is the reality, right? Rather than reacting on external circumstance, right? Says, oh, why that person did that, or, you know, I don't believe in these things. You know, you have to react no matter what. Otherwise, you know, things goes away. And this is the essential to empower yourself in decision making. It's very, very important. Right now, there are so many things that happen around the world, right? Why I was mentioning geopolitical landscape, it's very important. See what happened right now is going to have in August, September, October. In 3 months and a few days, we're going to have the US election. So, and today, world geopolitical change are happening rapidly, affecting economies and market globally, right? You see, we have, I think this year, the very unique year, because many countries, I don't remember how many, they have, you know, election. And with the election occurring in various parts of the world, including US president, which is the most important things, investors usually must consider how to those politics shift might impact the investment strategy, right? We've been seeing the last 4 years here in the Riviera Maya, Mexico, lots of west and east side from up north Canada down to the west and east side of US coming down, and opposite from the Latin America coming up in the center. I believe right now Mexico, it's kind of like the second Switzerland, right? Very more stable than the other part of the world. And so back on the US election, for example, in particular, right, there is a significant implication of a global market, not just, you know, in their own country or in the border, right? And when I talk about that, investor from anywhere in the world, right, they start thinking. So you have to start thinking ahead of time, right? And depending on the outcomes, obviously, it may shift the policy related to trade, taxation, foreign investment. We always saw that, you know, 5 years ago, right? Which can influence the real estate market in any part of the country, right, of the world. And so what I would say right now, I believe what I think is the proud of, you know, the stability market in Mexico, right? Investing before the election, for sure, in my opinion, can take advantage of the current stable environment in Mexico, no doubt. And where real estate continue to show growth potential for Canadians, American, European also, this means locking the current price before any potential shift. So that's number one. The second thing that I believe it's also a good benefit, which I do all the time with my clients, the exchange rate benefit, right? The potential of currency fluctuation post-election, investing now might help you lock in favor exchange rate. And for the American investor, for example, because everything here it's mostly it's US dollars, currency strength against the pesos, and now it's a good, I believe, the advantage strategy for the exchange rate, right? For US dollars, I think right now we are 17.50. We had the years where it was even 22 pesos for $1. So I was like, wow. So you buy in pesos, and that's how much you can get. The pro election also give you also other type of opportunity. I believe that the period leading up to election often present opportunity for market to remain relatively stable and predictable. So once you know that, it's ideal time for Canadians, American, and European to invest in the land or multifamily unit in Mexico. Even when you buy land right now, you can make a 2, 3, or 4x in a couple of years. And so right now, with the lower price, you are able to go in. The only things, unfortunately, we don't have the major ball, right? So there is also the uncertainty, right? The political uncertainty might create some short-term volatility in currency, stock market, right? At the border, right? Impacted the cross-border for sure, then the American and Mexican, right? Canadians, European must be faced unexpected change for the investment because for the war in Russia, right? So all these things we cannot predict, right? And then what happened on that things? The policy change. We see, I see most of the time in Canada, for example, where we have this change of politics in this small region, right? So the investors have a hard time. For example, they buy some unit, they want to change they don't go in the plan they used to because they change everything, and so they stuck. And it's hard for them to make a passive cash flow because usually when you buy something, specifically if it's already old, in order to do the right numbers, you see that you can make an extra room, right? You end up more passive cash, and that's when it's a good time. It's more than the percentage of one. You can increase the value, right? And then you can reevaluate after a couple of years, cash in, and when you're stuck with that, what's going on? Specifically now with high interest, right? So it's a little bit tough. So the election, the post-election policy must affect this type of investment, right? Especially if they change the trade agreement that we saw also, you guys don't forget, 4 or 5 years ago. And that's why right now we have lots of Chinese here, Germany and French building lots of commercial here in Mexico for these electric microchip for electrical car, right? And they can sell stamp made in Mexico and sell to US, right? But we don't know what can happen now after the election, right? The post-election, obviously, once we know what's going on, what happened, right? It would be more clarity, right, on the policy direction, which also can aid in making informed investment decision much easier, right? So there is a little bit of assess risk and opportunity based on the new political landscape, right? So that's where I'm talking about. You have to make, this type of adjustment, understanding, do the due diligence, the market evaluation, understanding if it's good things to do before the election or after the election. Provide yourself clear picture of the economic trend and investment opportunity. I think that you might present new prospect for those that are looking, to enter in the market at the later stage. Like everything in life, if you do at the right time, then that's the game. After you have more risk, I believe there is more potential volatility, right? The period immediately after the election, We don't know what happened with the market reaction, with the new policy and change. We don't know, right? It could impact Canadians, European, globally. And we are very sensitive to exchange rate fluctuation. That's when we speculate more or less. And then what happened then? Remember that. That will happen. We have this guy that says, hey, we miss the opportunity. Right? We miss the opportunity. I should done before, right? We start to feel guilty. And so what happened? We delay on investment. My means, missing the opportunity that, that was going to give you some potential market shift. And for those, and I also say that's I'm learning from my mistake also. And that's why I like to share things that I've done in my life. For those that are considering commercial space or land purchase, acting now might prevent future costs increase, right? But I just leave that there, then you have to make your own decision. If we talk about land, for example, right? For those interested in buying land, specific property development right now in the commercial, for sure, the pre-election, and make a lot of change. We notice here, there was election in for the mayor in June. We know that, if the same mayor was going to be elected, we will be fine. We know what happened, but if it was going somebody else, right? We don't know the time of giving back, for example, a license for the construction. So many change, right? So you need to know ahead of time. Commercial space. Commercial space is something, guys, it's very important. And now people start to buy the land to build the commercial space. Very important. And invest in commercial real estate, it can be very, very lucrative, specific on the region here of the Riviera Maya, because everything is growing. And it's not that hard also to make that happen, okay? Landscape here, it's a massive. I don't know if you have been here before in the Riviera Maya, but everything is like a selva, it's called, right? This is a forest, the years and years and years, 50, 60, 100 years to build. The Riviera Maya, it's a huge region with lots of investment potential. You have to come here to see, of course, right? Because that's why, in Quintana Roo and specifically in Cancun airport is the first airport in all Mexico where the people, when they come once, they come twice. So there's a record, they come twice in compare with the other 2 or 3 city in the rest of all Mexico, right? Because they have so much diversification from Tulum to Mahahual, right? Isla Mujeres. It's a very vibrant culture, stunning beaches, and thriving tourism industry on the top, and offer obviously for investor a great opportunity. The real estate market here, guys, in the Riviera Maya has been steadily growing. That is a very important key. When we talk about steadily, it's where you can see that you don't have so much of link to increasing the probability of a high risk, right? When you see, like, you go in Texas, it's like, wow, everything is like that, it's potential. Then you create the famous bubble. So here I don't want to say it's impossible, because obviously we don't have the magic ball, but for the last 20 years, we never see something like that here. So it's more stable. Also because it's a tourist, it's tourist investment, so it's a little bit different. And the priority, I guess, here is that, they offer here diversification. So people, they do diversification portfolio for pre-sale, land, they resell it, they holding, but at least they know that they can make good money, even just resell it, do anything else, And the beachfront luxury here, villas, I would say it's affordable. We start talking about, just to give an idea, the cost, $300 per square feet, right? Versus, I know in Canada and the GTA, we talk about $900, $1,000 per square feet. It's 3 or 4 times more, for sure. So expecting that when you invest in the Riviera Maya, the costs entry costs, it's relatively low, okay? For 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, the potential growth appreciation is significant. You are an investor, you understand the benefit, how much strong is the region, right? For the rental demand and capitalize the tourist boom. We just had here, like it's 20 minutes from where I am right now. This new airport in Tulum. And they have so many connections. They already got the record in the last 4 months. You can Google and see. So at that point, probably people start to think about why invest here? Why invest in the Riviera Maya? It's not just for the financial return, right? I just say at the beginning, if you remember, it's about creating a lifestyle that align, I believe, the value and also inspiration. The region offers a unique blend of natural beauty, cultural richness, economic potential. Everything is on, it's on, how's it called? Instagrammable, something like that, right? If I say correctly. And so you see billions of review of pictures, beautiful units, right? Because the landscape is inviting. So when you invest in the Riviera Maya, you gain access of a lifestyle, for example, that is both fulfilling and also rewarding. So you have to enjoy with this type of tranquility of beach, right? You want a little bit more, then Tulum is good for you. You want a little bit less with more movement, people around, then Playa del Carmen. Or something more, soft, relaxed, people retired, 50, 60, 70. I will consider probably Puerto Morelos, right? There is here, here we are at 20 minutes from Zamana. What's it called? Zamana Tulum. And these are the Exami Festival worldwide. People come from all over the world. And here, December, January, February, March is, if you have 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom apartment, it's been selling like this, actually rented, right? And these places where you can, people, they start to leave, they come here and they stay longer. So you have lots and lots of opportunity to offer. And that's why also when you see globally, right, the geopolitical shift, it gives you also the freedom, exchange of appeal of stable and promising opportunity. And these people, they find out these here in the Riviera Maya, in Mexico, right? For what I was talking about before, the war aspect, right? From Europe and from America. Latin America, there is we have to be clear. There's lots of uncertainty in many parts of the world, And when you invest in a region, you want to understand what's will happen. Okay. I believe at the end of the day that you have to feel happy. You have to feel good with yourself. You need to understand all this pro, all this con. It's very, very important for you to learn, right? Maybe to have a coach as well. But also we have the power of this guy, right? It's the phone. So go on internet, check all these things, review, spend the time understanding how to make this happen, right? So if all these inside are not just theoretical concept, but they are practical tools that you can use to change an investment strategy, guys. So be it. Achieve your financial goal today. You have to broaden your perception, mastering the time management. Remember, embracing the multi-dimension thinking, right? The thoughts, very, very important. And you have to unlock the potential for your investment. You have the power, that, to create a future that you want to see and reflect the value of what you think is good for you and can inspire as well, right? If you have that, right to go, guys. So I hope these things can elevate your mind, start to thinking before you go to or when you go to bed tonight, and invite you to subscribe also to Mexico Profit Blueprint, smart investment in land and multifamily. to continue learning about investing wisely and manifesting your desire. Looking forward for upcoming episode. And if you have any specific also requests, feel free to let us know. We're happy to dive deep into specific strategy, hear more about industry expert. We're going to have many experts here line up already, so then you can make a good decision informed. Until then, see you soon. Ciao.